We are now delighted to welcome to the stage Her Excellency Noura Al-Kabi, the UAE's Minister of Culture and Youth.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have a great pleasure in speaking at this virtual symposium held by two prestigious institutions in Abu Dhabi. I do thank the organizers for having me, and I would like to congratulate Louvre Abu Dhabi on its 3rd anniversary. This is indeed a happy and proud occasion for all of us. Similarly, I would like to extend my congratulations to NYU Abu Dhabi on the 10th anniversary of its seminal symposium, Art Museums Here and Now. Reaffirming museums, the topic of the symposium, is so apt for the times we are in. The advent of COVID-19 convinced us all the need to innovate and improvise our operating procedures on multiple levels. We now need to consolidate the lessons we have learned and institutionalize the new methods we have implemented. It is interesting to note that there has been a 60% increase in the number of museums in the world in the past 8 years. According to UNESCO, this fact must reassure us, even during a pandemic, that the future of museums will be bright and vibrant. Occasional disruptions and uncertainties should not lead us to a sense of gloom, but to more optimism. The only thing that makes life possible is permanent, intolerable uncertainty, not knowing what comes next, wrote the American author Ursula Le Guin, her science fiction novel, The Left Hand of Darkness. Museums are the repositories of the creative energies of nations past and present. They provide us with great insights into our vision for the future. As such, they are important not just in terms of aesthetics, but also in terms of defining our identities. They represent the best of humanity's relentless struggle against forgetting. They play a crucial role in connecting us to our past, on the one hand. On the other, they also connect nations and people with one another through what is most beautiful and precious about them. Museums help us realize our common roots as human beings. The wise leadership of the UAE had realized early on the importance of museums, not only in terms of their touristic potential, but also in terms of their role in helping define our national identity. The country has around 50 museums of varying sizes and subjects. The oldest museum in the UAE, Al Ain Museum, was founded in 1969 under the guidance of the late founding father, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. The newest, or one of the newest museums in the country, the Zayed National Museum, which will open soon. A grand museum in terms of both design and content. It will illustrate the natural and human history of the UAE. The very presence of Louvre Abu Dhabi alone is enough to testify to the strides we have made in the international museum scene. The Museum of the Future, now under construction in Dubai, is another visionary cultural institution. This is a place where you can see, touch, and shape our shared futures. I have drawn your attention to the UAE museums to tell you that we have a special interest in the discussions happening in this symposium. We are determined to be in the forefront of the transformations being conjured up to make museums more dynamic and socially relevant. The pandemic has revealed how resilient human beings are in the face of daunting challenges. People across the world have come up with innovative solutions to problems caused by the pandemic. The stunning developments in digital technologies did indeed come to our rescue in dealing with the current disruption. The digital possibilities now available to us can also be harnessed to expand our audiences in the future. We need to look at the digital avenues as an integral part of diversifying the museum experience. I want to draw your attention to the recommendation concerning the protection and promotion of museums and collections. their diversity and their role in society, adopted by the General Conference of UNESCO at the 38th session in Paris on the 17th of November 2015. The points made in the document is even more relevant today in the past. Most of the discussions on museums that happened subsequently did elaborate on the points made in the document. The document spelled out the main purpose of museums as follows. Before I quote, let me add that this sentiment fully reflects the cultural vision of the UAE in its entirety. The protection and promotion of cultural and natural diversity are major challenges of the 21st century. In this respect, museum collections constitute the primary means by which tangible and intangible testimonies of nature and human cultures are safeguarded. In light of the tremendous disruptions we have witnessed during the past months, I suppose this recommendation from the UNESCO document is vitally important. The changes brought about by the rise of information and communication technologies offer opportunities for museums in terms of the preservation, study, creation, and transmission of heritage and related knowledge. Member states should support museums to share and disseminate knowledge and ensure that museums have the means to have access to these technologies when they are judged necessary to improve their primary function. I want to stress the need for widening the audience for our museums. How can we make our museums accessible to all segments of our community? It is not important that people of all socio-economic backgrounds should have access to the magnificent cultural feast a museum holds. Maximizing access to museums is very important in order to allow everyone to savor the experience of cultural richness and the message of universal tolerance. I want to quote again from the UNESCO document that I previously referred to. Museums are vital public spaces that should address all of society and can therefore play an important role in the development of social ties and cohesion, building citizenship and reflecting on collective identities. Museums should be places that are open to all and committed to physical and cultural access to all, including disadvantaged groups. I remember reading a proposal for caravan museums that will travel to their potential visitors rather than other way around. Museums which will reach those groups who are far away from museums and unable to go to them. This will entail interdisciplinary groups of professionals who will engage the young and the old with stories, displays, and a small visitable replica of a museum inside a van. It is important that we rethink the territorial approach with respect to museums. The heritage of any country is also part of humanity's collective cultural asset. Museums should become dynamic spaces for dialogue between the local and the international, the past and the present, the younger generation and the older generation, the experts and the lay people. Their primary function is to create organic connection across boundaries. In rethinking and reaffirming museums, I think we must assign top priority to their function as a site and a subject for dialogue across boundaries. As repositories of our tolerant pasts and creative legacies, they are the spaces that connect seamlessly the past and the present and the future. I thank you all for your attention, and I wish the symposium, Louvre Abu Dhabi and NYU Abu Dhabi, all of the success.